Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. 45 young people have added their names to the list of Barbadian scholarship and exhibition winners. Queen's College amassed a total of 15 scholarships and Harrison College took the remaining 11. QC also took the lion's share of exhibitions, totaling 11, followed by HC with 5, the Barbados Community College with 2, and the Christchurch Foundation with 1. While it's not the highest number in recent years, Education Minister Ronald Jones is pleased with the students' performance.
We've had as high as 54 within the last 5 years. This is a bit short of that 54 that we've had a few years ago, and a little short of the 52 we've had a year before that year. So our students are working. Our students are performing. Teachers are expecting and demanding of the student excellence in their work. And one hopes that even as we confront some of the challenging issues of Barbados, that our young people will continue to perform and operate at the highest level possible.
Minister Jones made the announcement in the presence of this year's awardees, who were joined by their parents and guardians at the Eardiston Teachers Training College. He, however, noted that 10 students fell short of the scholarship when they failed to achieve a grade 1 in one of the compulsory subjects.
That's the only grade 2 you got. 7 of you in communication studies and 3 of you in Caribbean studies. When it comes to the finances, there is a massive difference between a scholarship and an exhibition. And therefore, by not paying that deep focus to those 2 core or compulsory subjects, your mommy or daddy or both will have to give you some extra resources.
Minister Jones is also reporting an overall improvement in grades at the Cape level, which he attributes to an increasing number of sixth form schools.
Today we have, and by the time September starts, we will have 11 schools doing sixth form or post-secondary education. That's what will be happening. And they're all contributing to the pool of success. When we look at the results overall, our results for Cape is in the high 90s among those students. Unit 1 and Unit 2.
The hard work has paid off and the awardees can finally breathe a sigh of relief. CBC's Sharika Griffith spoke with several of them.
While many of them admit it was not always smooth sailing, they buckled down and did their best. Nia Marshall says she couldn't have done it without her teachers.
Last year and this year I cried because we generally don't get scholarships in these subjects which they call the humanities, generally because they're quite subjective. When you look at the history of scholars and exhibition winners, they generally come from those science areas or those math-based areas. You never really get those 4 grade 1s or those all 8 grade 1s from those areas specifically. So to me, I think that that's a major success.
David Gittins refused to let his dyslexia stop him from achieving his goals.
I knew I had to get it. It was the only way I could go to university. And I knew it was coming. I trusted in God. And I knew that I was going to get it.
How challenging was it though?
Well, being dyslexic, it was challenging for core and comm. I had to go to lessons for those subjects especially, and I had to put extra work into those subjects. Math came easily, physics was easy, accounts was easy as well, but for those 2 subjects, I really had to put in the work for it.
Brittany Gibbons says she never doubted her abilities.
Personally, it wasn't that much because I feel like I was always a hardworking student coming from Queen's College, so I always knew that I was always expected to work very hard and I always had to do a lot of work. So it wasn't that much of a big change that I had to make, but I just needed to keep focused.
Junior Monarch Terry Sparkle-T Williams-Niles admits it wasn't easy balancing her schoolwork and music.
It was hard, very, very hard. I knew I got the 2 last year, so I really knew I needed to get the all ones this year. Plus, this is my last year in Junior Monarch, so I really wanted to win. So I said this year I really have to put everything on the table, just have to do my best in every single thing. So it was hard. I got through it though with the help of my family, friends, and God.
Maurice Walks had to make several personal sacrifices.
Hours practicing my instruments, and as well as football and basketball, which are two sports I really love to do. But when you have to do your work, you have to do your work. Cape is not easy at all. It's a lot of work and a little amount of time to really know your stuff for the examination. So yes, I had to sacrifice a lot.
Dominique Bevelle says her rest time was the only thing she gave up.
Besides sleep, no. But there weren't many sacrifices, but it was very difficult, especially upper six. Having known how the experience of lower six and the transition from fifth form to sixth form, it was very different. And having known what I went through, I didn't want to, so it made it much harder. And the end was so close, but still so far.
And her mum believes the scholarship is the best reward for Dominique's hard work.
She wants to do aeronautical engineering. She expresses an interest in aircraft investigation, but like I tell her, the world is her oyster. Wherever she chooses to go and use her craft is up to her.
Jada Jones wants to retire by 30.
Initially, I liked the beach, where I plan to retire. So I wanted to do marine biology, but that became difficult after a while. So I was researching. I like computers, and software engineering was a promising field where money is a factor. So I hope to do investing as well as software engineering. So I have many fields of income. And I'll become the next billionaire.
Several students will be heading to the KFIL campus come September, while others still will be going overseas. Wherever they go, let's hope they continue to excel. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Congratulations to all of them. Residents and workers in the area of Canevale Crescent Christchurch are tonight living in a state of terror. It follows the shooting death of 40-year-old Orrin Moore, a man who friends say did not deserve it.
This is just one of the bullet holes from the gun that claimed the life of 40-year-old Orrin Moore. Gun violence in Barbados is spreading. First it was street corners and blocks. Now it's a place of business, a mechanic shop. On Sunday night, just after 8 o'clock, the father of over 8 children went to Thorpe's garage in Canevale Crescent to collect his Toyota 100 vehicle from a friend. At a nearby house, one woman who wouldn't speak on camera says she had just finished having a conversation with Moore.
He was there talking with me, telling me he's now expecting a grandchild to be soon to come. And as he was leaving, I told him that I came in from work and I'm on my way to the bath, and I will hear him again.
The woman says she had just entered the bathroom when she heard a flurry of gunfire outside.
I heard these shots ringing out like something stick. There were so many. And as I returned back out to the front, I saw him on the ground lying, and the car was slightly still light on, it's still moving, going back in the direction to the road.
According to reports, both the body of Moore along with his vehicle, which was since removed, were riddled with bullets from a semi-automatic firearm. Early Monday morning, a group of friends were contemplating the events from the night before. Among them, Julian Yard, a mechanic at Thorpe's garage.
It was very, very nice. It was close to me too. I was working on his car when he came down here yesterday looking for me, but I didn't come here yesterday, you understand? It's hard, but it's hard, truly. It's very, very hard. I used to do any mechanical work on his cars. I know him personally. He would make a lot of jokes and sport and stuff, He can sadly be missed. He can be missed, honestly.
Ian Thorpe also says he knew Moore for over 20 years.
Yeah, he might love your family and thing, He might like a lot of sport, like a lot of sport, right? Yeah, cracking off the jokes and thing, yeah.
Other residents who refuse to speak on camera says over the past month or so there's been increased gunplay in the Canevale community. In fact, one auto body specialist at Thorpe's mechanic shop is having second thoughts about going back on the job.
Today I feel like going on back home. I think about this because I ain't gonna feel comfortable knowing that I work in here, and I just only saw the guy Friday and come to hear now Monday morning he died. I feel so pleased about it.
Just a stone's throw away at Moore's Water Street home, we visited the mourning family of the 40-year-old man. However, Moore's younger brother politely informed us that the family would not be speaking with the media. Police are, however, hoping members of the public who have information about Moore's killing will come forward with information that can help them solve the case. Kareem Smith, CBC News.
Barbadians clamored in their numbers at many vantage points across the island to get a glimpse of today's partial solar eclipse. The observatory in Clapham, St. Michael, just after 2:30 this afternoon, that's when all the action was getting started, we were met by scores of excited and curious Barbadians eager to get a peek at the phenomenon that won't be seen again for quite some time. People turned up in their numbers, some with family and friends in their special eclipse glasses, some during their work lunch hour, all waiting to see the moon pass between the sun and the earth.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing. I hope we can see a little bit of something with this cloud moves, you know, the partial eclipse. I've got my glasses all ready to go, so excited.
I saw a lunar eclipse once, it was amazing. So I'm really hoping to see this one.
Well, I'm extremely excited. Something that you'll see the next 20 years. God's spare life. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not sure. So it's a good experience to share with my daughter and my family.
President of the Barbados Astronomical Society, Ricardo Small, was stoked about the turnout.
Well, we are extremely impressed with the number of people that we're seeing, and this reflects the interest that is being shown in the US and in other parts of the Caribbean, right? So we here in Barbados, we are well in sync with what is going on in the US and in the Caribbean itself.
As the time got closer to about 10 minutes to 4, which was the time scheduled for the eclipse to reach its maximum, Barbadians continued to peer towards the skies as increasing cloud cover threatened visibility. Well, we then made our way over to the Barbados Community College, where Culture, Sports and Youth Minister Stephen Lashley viewed the eclipse with many of the region's youth gathered at the Carifesta Youth Village.
You should allow children to do this with protection, because one never knows what the experience may bring. It could result in a scientist, somebody who gained some kind of insight and wants to find out more about the solar system. So I think for us in Barbados, you know, we are joining the rest of the world in this mystery, and it has the buzz, as you can hear. Young people, they want to see, they want the clouds to move so they can see what the eclipse look like. That alone is an interesting thing to observe.
Well, the clouds never really dissipated, and by the time the solar eclipse was at its maximum, there was even a slight shower at our location at BCC. Well, maybe we'll have some clearer skies in 2024. As Barbados moves to address the rising issue of gun violence, the Barbados Defense Force may be called upon to lend assistance in the fight. That's the word from Attorney General and Minister of Home Affairs, Adriel Brathwaite, who told the BDF to be ready to answer the call. He says the increase in gun violence and gun-related crime, if left unchecked, could result in a further deterioration in national security and public safety. While addressing the 38th anniversary parade of the BDF, Mr. Brathwaite told the soldiers they may be called upon to support the Royal Barbados Police Force in ensuring public safety.
To quell this courage, this menace to our society, you must stand together, stand and be counted as part of a strong force, a vanguard which will not allow a few miscreants to threaten this island and dictate to the masses with their deviancy. This upsurge in gun crime and violence and the increase of illegal firearms in this country are most likely the result of an increase in transnational organized crime relating to drug trafficking.
Mr. Brathwaite dismissed naysayers who questioned the role of the BDF. He says the entity is playing a big role in the fight against illegal drugs.
Over the past 2 years, the Barbados Defense Force, through its maritime element, the Barbados Coast Guard, and the land forces of the Barbados Regiment, has conducted and assisted the civil powers in various counter-narcotics activities. These operations netted over 11,400 pounds of compressed marijuana, in excess of 2,800 marijuana plants, 28,000, marijuana plants, and 370 kilograms of cocaine with a combined street value of over $36 million. A total of 70 vessels were seized and 51 persons apprehended.
Chief of Staff Colonel Glenn Granham has saluted the men and women of the BDF. He says the force is committed to serving Barbados with honor.
Any military organization will bear allegiance to the fact that its greatest resource is its men and women in uniform. The Barbados Defense Force is no different. Unlike all military personnel all over the world, our primary role is to defend the sovereignty of the nation and its allies. At the anniversary church service on Sunday, the men and women of the Defense Force affirmed and reaffirmed their oath to defend Barbados from all external and internal threats.
Colonel Granham also pledged to continue carrying out the various other duties despite the risks and threats.
It is our calling to be fit to function under any conditions or circumstances. We shall continuously endeavor to do so. The profession of arms is one of service which requires many personal sacrifices, as surely the loved ones and friends of the service personnel here today can attest.
Okay, we'll take a short break and come back with more news.
We listened to what you had to say and tore up the old rules because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your Quick Pick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
Carry faster for you, carry faster for me.
From August 17th to 27th, the best of the Caribbean's performing arts will come alive at the amazing Carry Festa 13 Barbados. So be a part of 10 days of amazing events, including signal events in dance, literary arts, and visual arts, the Carry Festa Film Festival, the Youth Village at BCC, spectacular opening and closing ceremonies, and much more. Get your ticket for your favorite event online at carryfesta.net or at ticketlinks.com and at all approved Carry Festa box offices. This is Carry Festa 13 Barbados. Be a part of it.
Festa 13 Barbados.
A union leader is dismissing suggestions that last week's social partnership meeting was just a talk shop. Cedric Murrell of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations says the meeting's structure was similar to others in the past. Speaking on the Current Affairs program Walter Point 2, Murrell said the only difference this time around was the live television broadcast.
It is laughable because for the first time, the public of Barbados, and indeed the world, had an opportunity to see a meeting of the social partnership, although it was specific to one item at work. And that is how it has always been. We have, Walter will tell you, he has been. We have always come to social partners meetings, full social partners, and discussed vigorously whatever there was. There was never a resolution, or put another way, the social partnership is not a machinery for determining the final outcome of government policy.
A number of new faces will be vying for spots on the Executive Council when the Barbados Workers Union holds its annual delegates conference this Saturday. Word of this from General Secretary Tony Moore, who sees this new interest as a good sign.
If you have an organization in which you're just recycling membership all the time, that suggests an organization that is not moving, an organization that is somehow stagnant. And this year, the Barbados Workers Union amounts to 29 nominees that have been put forward to positions on the Executive Council, we have about 6 of them who are first time to the polls within our context.
Ms. Moore made the disclosure as she announced plans for the conference, which will take place on August 26th and September 2nd. In light of the many national topics to be raised, the opening ceremony has been condensed to facilitate more time for discussion. Making mention of a recent incident where an employer called the police on union representatives, Ms. Moore disclosed that a decision will be made on a course of action against companies accused of union busting. She said this could include boycotting these businesses.
We recognize that while people will want to suggest that the militants of the union and certain approaches of the union are no longer necessary, we recognize that we cannot behave in the same old way to all situations. But if people are bringing old tactics and schemes into our labor market interaction, then we must be able to confront these in the way that we have always confronted them.
After the break, we'll take a look at stories making headlines across our region.
From August 17th to 27th, the best of the Caribbean's performing arts will come alive at the amazing CariFesta 13 Barbados. And the spotlight will be on the spectacular Signal events. So spoil yourself and come and witness the amazing Dance Caribbean in the Contemporary.
Or take in the best of the best at the sensational Night of the Masters Literary Arts Signal event, featuring the works of George Lamming, the late Tom Clark, Kamal Brathwaite, and others.
And for you visual arts fans, prepare to be thrilled with 8 days of amazing Signal events at the Grand Salle at Central Bank, the Queen's Park Gallery, and the Barbados Community College.
CariFesta 13 Barbados.
Excuse me, I hear something about this comedy show. What really is? What is?
It's all about CariFesta 2017!
Peoples, it's the Caribbean Comedy Explosion, Saturday, August 26th at the Sir Garfield Sober Gymnasium.
Andrew, what is that in your bag? A cat. A what? A cat. You bring a cat in my house? Well, Daddy, take it back to your mother, please. No, Daddy, I can't do that. Don't make me do that, please, Daddy. Why? I hear Uncle Ralph tell Mommy go eat it when he come back.
The Caribbean Comedy Explosion, Saturday, August 26th, the Garfield Stobers Gymnasium. People, get your tickets from official box offices only.
St. Lucia's Minister of Culture, Fortuna Belrose, is in Barbados to take in CariFesta activities. She says the St. Lucian delegation consists of over 50 people representing various aspects of the arts.
There is film from St. Lucia. We have dancers here. We have persons in the literary arts here. We have fashion designers here. We have musicians here. And so there's a lot that's happening. Throughout this week, I think the various stations where St. Lucia's team will be performing. And of course, I just hope that the public here can actually go out and celebrate, you know, the St. Lucian culture, but more importantly, celebrating the Caribbean region and what we have to offer as a region.
Minister Belrose expects great things from St. Lucia from participating in CariFesta 13.
I think it's a joy for us to be here. Just meeting them yesterday in the various stations and hearing of the little experiences they've had. I think it's very exciting for our team to be here. And as you know, CariFesta is really the opportunity for them to network and, of course, showcase the skills that they have. And, of course, particularly for those in the fashion industry in St. Lucia, I think it has really been an exciting time for them being here. Of course, coming to the youth village here this morning, it was an opportunity for us to meet young people, understand what is happening with young people, the direction that they want to go into, and of course getting an appreciation for the fact that there is so much creativity among our young people.
In the British Virgin Islands, 6 minors were arrested on suspicion of stealing 2 motor scooters from a police station. The minors range from ages 13 to 16 years old. They are all from Tortola. Reports are that police realized 2 scooters were missing from the police station on the weekend. Shortly afterwards, they went in search of the scooters and found them in a relatively short distance away. Guyana's Minister of State, Joseph Harmon, is confident that legal action challenging the president's directive to halt police promotions will be thrown out. The minister reiterated that the fabric of the police force is of utmost importance. More in this report from Royden James.
Since this has also become now the nature of, I understand, a legal challenge, we will see whether in fact there is any basis in law for the challenge which to take place, which says that the president of a country, having received information which he has brought up by a system of reports coming to him, which says that there is some action which is likely to take place that will harm or cause injury to the security fabric of this country, that he cannot take any action about.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon speaking during a live broadcast of his post-cabinet media briefing on Friday. The minister was lending his voice to the political storm over the delayed police promotions list. President Granger has already said that he is in receipt of lots of complaints and information about persons whose names are on the promotion list, and that there is a need for an investigation and a second look at the list. Article 2261 of the Constitution states, I quote, "In the exercise of its functions under this Constitution, a commission shall not be subject to the direction or control of any person or authority," unquote. In light of that article, the minister was requested to state the law that made provision for the president to instruct the Police Service Commission to place the police promotions on hold.
I want to make this clear too, that the security of this state is the responsibility of the government, and the president is the person who is ultimately responsible.
In Dutch St. Martin, a baby born to a mother from the neighboring island of Sabah is believed to be the first suspected case of Zika-related microcephaly. The baby was delivered on Saturday. The mother is said to have been very surprised and shocked about her newborn, since there was no indication of the condition of her baby during prenatal care. A peek into the world of sports is just ahead, but before we get there, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Be on the alert. Drive around the ATM machine and survey the area prior to approaching it. This ATM safety tip is brought to you in association with the Royal Barbados Police Force.